Welcome everyone to the first episode of the Career Pivot Playbook, Navigating Career Change with Confidence. I'm Shruti, founder of Delegate Workflows, and I'm excited to dive into the topic of today's episode, why to pivot, when to pivot. With us is Smita D. Jain, an expert executive coach and personal empowerment life coach who successfully transitioned from a corporate professional to a coach and entrepreneur after 14 years in corporate world. Welcome, Smita.
Thank you so much, Shruti. I'm thrilled to be here once again with you and share my insights on this important topic. And I must add, your journey of pivoting to start your own virtual assistant agency, Delegate Workflows, is equally inspiring for me.
Thank you, Smita. It's been a rewarding journey, and I'm excited to discuss what leads to such pivotal moments. So let's start.
Absolutely.
Smita, what are some signs that indicate it might be time for a career change?
So the signs may be different for different people because each individual is different. But what I have seen over my coaching experience of the last 3.5 years, coaching close to 300 individuals across 10 countries in the globe, and taking lessons from my own career pivot, there are 5 common signs. At least 90% of the people exhibited one or other of these signs. First is lack of passion. So if you wake up every morning reading the workday and find no joy in your tasks, that's the first sign. And that definitely was the case for me. So during my last 1.5 to 2 years of corporate career, I used to wake up every Monday looking forward to Friday. So the passion definitely was missing, which was the biggest sign for me. The second is stagnation. So feeling like you are not growing or learning new skills, that can be another indicator. Third, burnout. So every job is stressful. You will have your highs and lows, but constant stress and exhaustion without any relief, even after taking breaks. So you go on a vacation, but when you come back, you get back the same feeling. That's a sure sort sign. Fourth, misalignment of values. So in fact, earlier this week during one of my coaching session, I was speaking with a client and she was explaining to me that I think the values I have, it's not really aligned with the values of the leadership, the way they are taking decisions, the way they are going ahead with the plans. So there's nothing wrong with the culture. There is nothing wrong in the work. The work per se may be interesting for others. But when your personal values no longer align with the company's culture or mission, that is a sign that you may think of moving on. The fifth sign is lack of recognition. If your hard work is consistently overlooked or undervalued, it might be time to consider a change.
What are some powerful indicators? Why do professionals consider a career pivot in the first place?
Again, each individual is different and the reasons may vary for different people. What I have seen, the first reason is seeking fulfillment. Many people realize they want their work to be more meaningful and fulfilling. They need to find some purpose from their work. Second, desire for growth. The need to acquire new skills and experiences often drives a pivot. Third, better work-life balance. Some pivot to achieve a healthier balance between their professional and personal lives. The fourth reason, economic reasons. Compensation is important, especially when people start their careers during the first decade. That's a key driving factor. So industry downturns, company downturns, better lucrative opportunities elsewhere in terms of monetary terms, that can also be a motivator. And last but not the least, changing interests. So we are not the same individuals as we grow along. In our 20s, we are different people. In our 30s, we are different people. So over time, interests and passions evolve, leading to a natural shift in career direction.
Interesting. Speaking of changing interests, could you share your personal story of realization and your initial thoughts of pivoting?
It seems like such a long time, and yet it's just been 3.5 years now I looked at it. So as I was mentioning earlier, after 14 years of working in the corporate world, in the last 2 to 3 years of my career, I started feeling unfulfilled. When I say that, I was not able to find a meaning, see purpose in my work. So from the outside, I was doing well. I was earning promotions. I was working with some wonderful people. The culture in the companies I was working with, I had absolutely no problems with that. But whatever achievements came my way, I used to enjoy that only for a short period. And then over the long term, it was always waking up in the mornings, looking forward to the evening, waking up on Mondays, looking forward to Fridays. And as I started analyzing why is this happening, I realized that was primarily because I was working too much on PowerPoints and too less with people. So I was a leader, I was leading teams, and one of the things I enjoyed most was helping my colleagues get the best out of themselves. I was generally regarded as a good leader. And that is when I realized I want to work more with people, spend more time with people rather than making some nice figures and making my point on PowerPoints. So that was when I introspected, I'm like, okay, I have to take the leap. At least try, give a chance to my earning. That time I didn't know whether it was my passion or not. I would call it earning. Take a chance on my earning of working more with people. So I took the leap, left my corporate job at one shot, upskilled myself, took coach trainings. And as you know, I'm also a writer. I also pivoted to writing simultaneously because that was my passion. And this, as I said, working with people is something I would call my purpose. So after taking upskilling myself, taking courses, taking trainings, doing some pro bono sessions initially, I started doing it full time. And now with God's grace, I can call myself a successful coach and entrepreneur. So that's what my journey looks like.
That's truly inspiring, Smith.
I also recall reading in one of your LinkedIn posts that you dabbled in a lot of employment opportunities before settling for the entrepreneurial bug. So what made you to take the leap of faith, Shruti?
It was a similar experience with her. Starting my virtual assistant journey came out of necessity and determination. Being a mom, the traditional 9 to 5 job just wasn't an option for me. I had to make a choice at a certain point of time, either to become a stay-at-home mom or to find a way to balance my work and family. I chose to do the later one. I decided to create my own path. I dived into entrepreneurship and worked hard to build my business. With dedication and hard work, I have managed to create a venture that fits my life and fuels my passion.
That's so inspiring to know, Shruti. And being a mom myself, I know that's a full-time job. So hats off to you that you didn't give up and took that step to take this entrepreneurial journey, Shruti. And I'm so happy that you did, because otherwise we would not be working together and I would not be having this interaction with you today.
True. Thank you, Smita. Is there a framework that you recommend for self-assessment and decision-making when considering a career pivot?
Oh, okay. Now, you are not the first person who has asked me this question, Shruti. And when my coaching clients ask me this question, can you give me a framework for this? I always tell them that framework is one size fits all. Every person is different. So what may work for one person may not work for another person. But since you have asked me this question, let me give it a shot. I don't know whether I can call it framework, but there are certain steps which I've seen from my experience of coaching as well as being on the other side some years down the line. So this journey starts with self-reflection. Start by identifying your core values, strengths, and interests. Sometimes journaling or talking to a mentor can help. See, when we are just thinking in our head, it is just an idea. And ideas can confuse, idea can be vague. When you journal it down, when you note it down, when you talk it out with others, that's when ideas begin to take concrete shape. Second, research. Explore different industries and roles. From the outside, the entire world looks green. It is only when you step into the other side that you know the hard work it actually entails, the brown patches in the green field. So informational interviews can provide insights into what a day in the life looks like in the new field that you are considering. Third, do your own skills assessment. Identify the skills you already have in the current role. So the role may be different, the industry may be different, but there will be some leverageable skills. Identify those you already have and those you need to acquire. Look for transferable skills, as I mentioned before, that can ease the transition. And if you find it hard to identify it by yourself, that is where an expert like a coach can come in, who will help you figure out this part. Fourth, experiment. Experimentation is required. Try out the new field through volunteering, part-time work, or freelancing to get a feel for it. So, for instance, when I decided to become a coach and a writer, those were not the only two options. I had two other options in my head, and once I chalked down the concrete steps, I tried out everything. And once I tried out through freelancing and through volunteering, got a taste of all the fields, that is when I decided that coaching and writing is the final things for me. And the two other options I was considering then, it dropped out after 1 or 2 months of experimentation. The last bit, planning. Develop a step-by-step plan, including timelines and resources needed for the pivot. Setting SMART goals can be very effective. If you don't know where you want to go and you don't know how you want to reach there, then anything you do can make you reach there, which means that you will not be able to reach the final destination.
That's a comprehensive framework. Any final thoughts for our viewers considering a career pivot?
I would just like to say that a career transition, a career pivot is a journey, not a sprint. Take your time to assess, plan, and execute. Stay open to learning and be patient with yourself. The right opportunity is out there, and with the right approach, you will find it. It takes time. It's not that everything you do will turn into overnight success. So today, I know there are people who come to me and say, hey, you made such a success out of your pivot. And I know how much of hard work I put in, how much of failures I have had, and how much of failures I still have. So I am a success, but that does not mean I don't have any failures. So be patient, stick it out long enough, and eventually you will find your path.
Thank you, Smita, for these invaluable insights. I look forward to discussing with you about how to find the right path and leverage transferable skills in our next episode. Thank you to our audience for joining us today. If you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments. See you next time.
Thank you, Shruti, and I am looking forward to the next episode.